living in Connecticut at the time, and I was dating this girl named Lisa Ball. And she lived with her sister. Her sister name was Lori. And actually, they're the nieces of Lucille Ball. And we were at her house one night, and it was my girlfriend's birthday. And we're like, yeah, let's go out, let's go do something, let's go somewhere. And her sister was like, well, let's go to this club in Narragansett, Rhode Island. Up to this club. It looked like a country bar. There was like wagon wheels outside. I could have sworn I seen a fucking tumbleweed blow by. It was just, it's crazy. It was huge. It looked like a big ass barn. We're making fun of Lori, like, where'd you bring us, man? Like, they shot hee-haw in this fucking place. You know, go inside, and man, we walk in the door, and we walk into this big ass, it looked like something out of New York or something. It had lights all over the place. There was lights in the dance floor, and around the dance floor, they had these, literally, it's like we walked through a fucking Twilight Zone, man. It was a good time, and night goes on, and we're drinking, dancing, or whatever, and the owner of the bar invited us all in the back. Me, my girlfriend, Lori, Keith, a couple of friends in the back were just chilling out. The last call was called people in the bar because everybody was leaving. So we just sitting there, you know, shooting the shit, talking, and next thing we hear this big old commotion outside, like people screaming and yelling, and we all run outside watching this fight. And then these dudes took off running. Cops are pulling up pretty much at the same time these guys are taking off. Cops get out of the car, they come over and start talking to people, and we're just standing there talking like, damn, like, what the hell was that? They're asking everybody, you know, what happened. So they're explaining to the police officer, there was these two guys, these two black guys. They were twins. And they started fighting with these other two guys in the bar. And they were fighting. Where'd the guys go? Well, they ran. They took off down that way. There's the other guy that was getting beat up, or supposedly or whatever. And they were like, he ran the other way. They all ran after. They all took off that way. One of the police officers, I seen him off to my right. He looks over, and he's parting through the crowd, comes over to the steps, and he goes, come here, come with me, to me. So I'm like, well, why? You know, I'm going to ask you some questions. So everyone's, obviously, their attention's averted over here because now this police officer came over here and he was talking to me. The owner pipes up and says, what's this about? Police officer says, we just want to ask him some questions. And they said, well, we were inside, so we don't really know what was going on because we just come outside because we heard the commotion. Just want to ask him some questions. So I'm like, hey, look, I'll just answer this guy's question and we'll bounce. All right, so go over, answer this. Takes me over to the side of the building. He goes, you know, where are you from? What's your name? Yeah, my name is blah, blah, blah. Where are you from? I'm from such and such. What are you doing here tonight? Celebrating my girlfriend's birthday. You know, they're from Wesley. Do you know what happened? I had no idea what happened. While I'm talking to this police officer, the other police officer was interviewing a couple people. He ends up strolling over here. Soon as he got to us, he didn't say anything to his partner. He didn't say anything to me. He grabbed me by my jacket, turned me around, and slapped the cuffs on my arm. Meanwhile, my girlfriend and her sister and all these people are freaking losing it. What are you doing? What are you doing? You didn't do anything. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I never thought in a million years that I would be caught up in this. You see what it looks like. They're following the cops down to the car saying, yo, he didn't do anything. You got the wrong guy. They're cursing, they're yelling, they're screaming. They put me in the car thinking to myself, okay, what next? They're not saying anything. The cop that initially talked to me turned around and just said, just this will all be over soon. We're going to take you down to the station, ask you some questions, and book you, and it'll be over soon. About 10 minutes, dead silence in the car. They didn't tell me why they were taking me down there, which I'm assuming because they need to book somebody. And since the crowd said it was two black guys, clearly they're missing the point that they were twins, and I wasn't there with anyone else other than my girl. So anyway, I don't know how they got that mixed up. Get to the police station. They take me out of the car. I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Man, I didn't even do anything. You heard the description, blah, blah, blah. It was two other guys. Blah. They didn't say one word. It doesn't matter what you look like, what color this is. You can still be hateful as fuck. All right, so take me out the car. Why are you guys doing this? Blah, 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 blah. Just walk me in. Take me inside. They fingerprint me, took my picture, put me in a cell. So I'm sitting in this cell. And of course, you know what I'm thinking. You know, this is bullshit. You know, it's only because of my color of my skin. I didn't think that really existed. And that night, I'm thinking it was really late. The guy that initially came over to interview me came down to the cell. He comes over there and he says, look, he goes, I'm really sorry about all this. He goes, I know it really looks really bad too. Why am I here? I had nothing to do with it. You heard everyone telling you. You heard all those people telling you that it wasn't me. Why am I like, you know, just this will be over. He came down to check on me. You know what I mean? Got me something to eat. You know, he talked to me for a minute. So, you know what I mean? That let me know that maybe he's not as hateful as his buddy. So I ended up falling asleep on a fucking metal ass slab. Next morning, I was covered with my sweater. So I'm assuming that officer put my sweater, gave me my sweater. So in the morning, it was early in the morning. He wakes me up, brought me upstairs, and he brought me into the courtroom, sat me down, and we had to wait for the judge. Now, finally, the judge comes in, And he takes care of a couple of other cases first. All this stuff going through my head. So finally he says, matter such and such at the name of this bar. I stand up. The judge starts asking me questions. Public defender comes in. Hi, Your Honor. Can we have a short recess? Goes up to the bench. Recess. So I sit down. Judge comes back in, starts convening with my case. As soon as I stood up, there was a ruckus outside the door. I turned to look at the door. The first person who walked in was this public defender guy. And then I see my girlfriend, her sister, Keith, the owner, and like 25 other people that was at the club last night, all filtering in through the door, pushing in through the door, yelling, screaming, he's innocent, this and that, the other thing. Bang, order in the court. So he finally got everyone to calm down, take a seat. They wouldn't sit down. The public defender comes in, he stands up to the judge. He goes, what is going on? What's the matter? This says, Your Honor, it's come to light that the situation that took place looked to move to strike this case, like to throw it out. And the judge said, under what conditions? And every single one, he didn't do it. All at the same time. This is not going to continue until all of you are out. Basically, almost kind of blamed me for that. I was in jail all night. The way I could have orchestrated that. Who are all those people who came storming the courtroom? Those were people who were outside that bar when your officers wrongfully arrested me. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to let you go. But you leave Narragansett and don't you ever come back to this town. Said the court's adjourned. Walk through those doors. I've seen a grown man cry. All 25 people. I didn't even know these people, man. Came over and hugged me and shook my hand and rubbed my head. And just when you think the worst is going to happen and you don't think you have a way out, something great happens, man. You just can't count everybody in the same category. I appreciate beautiful things when they happen to give people a chance, all right? Much love.